Wow, as the outcome here. That's not bad, not bad, not bad. The Knight of Wands. My problem with this is that I do think that you may have been dealing with an in and out energy. I think that you were probably dealing with a person who really wasn't focused on the long term, but I feel like that kind of changes. And then that is where the passion and the drive starts to come into play in a much positive, much better way, or a more positive way in the outcome here. Now with the Ten of Pentacles, this is about security and stability, obviously, within a relationship. But unlike Aries, I don't feel like this is about you're okay where you're at, or you're stable or set where you're at. I don't think that that's the issue here. I think that, for some of you, I mean, absolutely, you could be secure and stable with your own life, which is great. But because of the Seven of Cups showing up on their side, I don't know that they are very clear on what that means to you. Now, on the other hand, you're dealing with somebody who doesn't know what the hell they want. You may be providing that security and stability for that person, but they may still be looking at, what else may be available to them. They may be in fantasy land, fantasizing about other things and not seeing, the clear choice for themselves. Now, moving out of this, where you meet in the relationship with the Magician, this is about you using what you have, which is your security and stability, as a tool here to make something happen in this relationship. With the Wheel of Fortune, they may be looking at going, through another cycle with you. And I do think that Ten of Pentacles shows that at one point in the past you felt secure with this person, but they were off in La La Land, seriously. But are we talking about, going through another cycle here? I don't think that we're talking about things repeating themselves, not with judgment coming out after that. But looking at the High Priestess, though, what I worry about for you is that there are some things that you're keeping to yourself. I don't think that this is about, secrets that you're keeping from this person, but you may be keeping to yourself how you feel. And that is because they need to go through, the judgment phase, needing to go through everything, review the relationship, right? And if we're talking about second chances, they need to start looking at things differently when it comes to this relationship, and we need to start looking at the long term. And I do think that is exactly what starts to happen here. Now, with the Hierophant, we're talking about commitment. Again, right? The Hierophant is traditional relationship commitment. But with the High Priestess, for you, it's interesting to me because the Hierophant is showing up on your side, but then at the same time, I feel like you're okay if it's not exactly a traditional relationship though either. But we'll clarify the Hierophant here. But with the Three of Wands in between the two of you, we're talking about, looking at the long term here, waiting to see how things unfold, looking at the future, wanting to act toward a possible future here. But like I say, with the Three of Wands, you should already know what to expect here as far as what is coming at you. And my worry is if you're looking at the Knight of Wands, is this what you're expecting from this person? That they're not looking at the long term, and you already know that with the High Priestess. Have they accurately assessed the way that the relationship went in the past? Are they clearing up, their fantasies and their inability to make a choice? Are they seeing things differently? With the Sun, that's everything being made clear, but it's also really good, really happy, feeling good, feeling a sense of rejuvenation in terms of the relationship. And somebody may be trying to rejuvenate a relationship with you, which is very possible here. And then the Hangman, you need a minute. I think that you need a longer minute than what they do. And I think for you, you realize that there are some things that still need to be kind of worked on or dealt with, because you are definitely starting over. They have to be willing to, I think, show that, you know, I feel like it's in their hands. They're the ones that have to show that they're wanting to start over and start putting in the effort here. Because with the Page of Pentacles, yeah, it's communication. But the communication that comes through, it's about using that and applying it in such a way that, you know, you get to start something here or start over, starting at the bottom, right? Wanting to get something going. But I feel like with all of this, we're talking about starting over. Now, the Hermit and the Four of Swords, it's the both of you kind of like separated. You're on your own. You're doing your own thing here. But I think that maybe secretly here, you still have a lot of feelings for this person, even though you're like, leave me alone. You know, which can be the case, which would be, you know, why things are not being discussed. But they're also reflecting on things too, especially in regards to your past together and the way that they were and their inability to kind of, you know, get their shit together, so to speak. But you feel like you're on your own here, right? But this is also just kind of leave me alone for a minute. With the King of Cups and the Ace of Cups, you know, again, this is how you're looking at them and this is what they're bringing in. Male, female, water, I don't care. They become more emotionally available and here's that cup, right? A new beginning. I'd like to have a new beginning with you. You know, let me express my emotions from a place of wisdom and understanding now, right? But I think for you, you're like, hold up. Like, hold up. I don't think that you're purposely holding up the show here. I think that for you, you need more time to kind of think about it. You know, especially considering that you're going to have to start completely over with this person. Like, completely over with them. You know, and it's not going to be that easy. You can't just pick up and, you know, go right back to the security and stability that you may have had in the past with them. You know. But I do think that you're looking at the long term, not just in regards to this relationship, but for you, you know, right? But also, again, seeing everything clearly when it comes to this relationship, but you're wanting to have a commitment that I think that you're going to be happy with this time. And then the Ace of Pentacles. So I think that some of you, if we're talking about you needing to release an ex, I think that some of you are not really willing to accept the offer of another person here who definitely has a little bit of an obsession with you. But you're also talking about somebody who may be a little bit more committed to you, because with that Ace of Pentacles and the Hierophant, yeah. The Ace of Pentacles is about more than sex. I want more than that. I want to have a long-term relationship with you. And this is just the beginning. With the Page of Pentacles, this is a relationship that's soured. Now, with the Ten of Wands, though, for some of you, you may be hooking up with somebody else, but that's only because you went through, you know, a really bitter phase in a relationship from the past. The problem is the Nine of Pentacles. I think for you, it's not about wanting to have this kind of relationship with this person, because you may still be focused on, you know, the bitter parts of the past involving an ex. But they are definitely attached to you. There's definitely a little bit of an obsession. I don't really see it as a bad thing, but I think that they are definitely wanting more from you, and that opportunity is definitely there coming out. But you can't have that kind of commitment in a long-term relationship with this person if you're still focused on the past and the bitterness of the past. Because with the Two of Swords, it's like, yeah, you know, I'm not really as interested as you think I am. This is not like what I looked at as a long-term relationship. You're just here to kind of make me feel better. That's what I get from this. And then the Nine of Cups, this, you know, this is not bad. I kind of feel bad for this person. Gemini, what are you doing? Okay. The Ten of Pentacles, this is you, you know, I mean, definitely coming to an ending here that, you know, ended really in a bad place. I mean, there are definitely some bitter feelings when it comes to an ex specifically, or a past relationship. The Ten of Pentacles is like self-reflection, right? Like, I keep pointing that out. That is what the creator was trying to get across with this card because of the mirror, right? Needing to be able to see yourself in this relationship, and how are you seeing yourself in the relationship, right? Things, though, I don't think were fruitful or abundant here because of that Page of Pentacles. That is the souring of a relationship, things getting bitter, things going wrong, you know. And with the Ten of Wands, like I said, I think that that's somebody else, you know, and it's like you're doing this to kind of feel better about what you've just experienced, but you're not really paying attention to, you know, who you are within either one of the relationships. With the Four of Wands, you're just having fun. I don't know what your problem is. Like, I'm not interested in anything other than that. Like, you know, it's just about having fun and releasing some pressure, right? Now, with the Nine of Cups, though, this is really good. This is really good, really happy. This could make you really, really happy. Okay, so if you are coming out of a bitter situation and you end up getting involved with another person, and even if you are just having fun with them and you're not looking for anything permanent, don't completely reject it. I think that you do in the moment, but I think that some part of you realizes later on that if you are able to let go of past situations or exes, this is going to be something that's committed and long lasting for you and is going to make you really happy. Or we're talking about the other person, right? It could be that this is what's going to make them really happy, but you may not be interested. I'm just having fun. And then the Four of Cups. All right. This is going to be about one of those relationships where there is like an encounter here because somebody is putting themselves out there. That is what the Six of Wands is. Somebody is getting attention because they've put themselves out there. And there's definitely the encounter that's happening with the Knight of Cups, right? But it is definitely based on emotions and love, because with the Queen of Cups, somebody loves you or you love them, right? Like really somebody loves you. She is very loving, very open, very romantic, very emotional, right? Male, female, water, I don't care. The problem is that there are some doubts involving this person, or they have some doubts about you because of the way that you first met or the way that you first got together. You know, and it's not a bad thing. It's just, you know, hey, here I am, and then you have an encounter with them, but somebody definitely falls in love here. And you, though, are being asked to open up and love in return. You know, and I think that you may have doubts in regards to this person, or they have doubts in regards to you with that Seven of Wands. The Three of Pentacles, this is needing more warmth and more understanding in a relationship. But with the Four of Cups, right, it's like you're not getting that, or they feel like they're not getting that. This feels like the relationship has moved into a routine, you know, and what you need to fix that is the Three of Pentacles, right? Like, I need more warmth, more understanding. Yeah, and then the Seven of Swords, damn, man, right? Like, and for you, it just may not be there, or somebody may be really disappointed that they're not getting that from you. You know, the Four of Pentacles. Somebody is definitely putting on their try-hard pants, but it's not happening, okay? The Four of Pentacles, this is somebody who is trying to get the passion going, but it's just not working, right? Like, they're really trying here, but, you know, it's just not enough. You know, there was an encounter, but there wasn't really a whole lot of passion. I think it was just something that happened. But the thing is that, you know, there's definitely at least some level of a relationship that's happening here. With the Knight of Pentacles, though, you're talking about like, yeah, that's great and all, but, you know, I just want to be friends, right? That's the I just want to be friends card. Or I'm not really interested in what you're offering me. Even if it's about them like really loving you, you know, and they may have a lot of doubts surrounding you or you them. And that may be why you're not wanting to get involved, especially if you don't feel like there's a whole lot of passion for this person. And then things just kind of fall into a routine. And I don't think that you're really interested. And I don't think that there is, you know, anything that you're really wanting to provide this person. That, or it's about you feeling this way. You know, like things have fallen into routine and I need more from you. But with the Seven of Swords coming out on this, neither one of you are connecting. This is not connecting physically or mentally or emotionally, you're not connecting at all. And there is a truth there that needs to be spoken. That's what I point out the most with this one. This is a complete disconnect between you and the person that you're with. You know, but somebody needs to speak that truth about needing more warmth and understanding, right? But are you even open to, you know, loving this person? Or is it that, you know, with all of this going on, you don't feel like it's safe to get involved with them if they're not going to give you what you need?